the thing is, there's a lot of communication involved in that thing,
100%,
which we completely lack.
And when it's a community, that's what it becomes.
But it doesn't do the things.
This is the most separating device on earth. This keeps us far from people.
It makes you believe you're with people.
We can be this distance and be a lifespan apart.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Just sitting there.
You can get lost in this thing in a heartbeat.
The gram even, just sitting there.
The gram sucks you in, dude. It's too easy, dude. And it's an algorithm. It's too easy because it's linked you to things you like. So just keep showing you things that you want to see, dude. Yeah.
It's a trippy one, dude.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. I feel like with that as a narrative, not necessarily the phone, being part of a community is probably the most wholesome feeling that we could experience. The problem is we won't, because it's not going to happen. I feel like it does, but it's not a large enough scale.
It's very confusing for me to figure this one out as well, because I'm somewhat partially antisocial sometimes.
But I think that's
like I am social,
like
generally,
the dog from the wolf, man.
But if I'm dealing with my own shit, which I had to do at a point, like when I was in college, my last 2 years, I was literally like, no talking shit. I'm gonna talk shit. No talking shit. So then that's the thing is that's extremely
in a constructive environment.
Yeah, no, but I also just needed my space to think. So I stopped talking, and I also wanted to fucking pass my college. So I needed to just switch it all off. And then that's the thing is like, at that point there was some separation. Because it was art and things, I got to see people express themselves in many different ways. So without talking to them, which was actually quite unique. It was just like beautiful to see in a way. But like, even like that, because of the way I am, I'm not that social actually. So I don't actually know how to get involved with everyone in the community, with my neighbors or.
But I don't feel like you should have to be the most the most socially involved person to still know your neighbors and be communal. You can be that guy that is just the recluse, but know that if I hear my neighbor's alarm go off, that I'm gonna be like looking over the wall to see what's going on. Or if my alarm goes off and I'm out of town, I can tell my neighbor, hey, listen, man, like I'm going out of town. If my alarm goes off, hope that maybe he does something about it or contacts me, or man, I just feel like it's so blatant. It's so.
So it's more like being there for each other than actually having to communicate a whole bunch of things. It's just actually being there for each other.
Yeah, no, it's helping each other solve mass communication, dude.
Yeah, that's also one thing that I sometimes
was a mass solving of problems. Like, what is your problems? Can I help you solve it? And as a community, they came together to solve these problems.
Now you get one guy that's like, I'll take all of this. You guys,
you needed housing, so housing was developed. It was only when someone came along and said, "I'll buy the town." He came with that paper-back money and said, "Cheers, boy, you all evicted. I'm buying the town." Sold it out to people that came and bought into it, and before you know it, man, you're paying for land that fucking no one owns. It's just dust. And
well, that's also an argument now. Like, who owns Mars, or who owns the moon? Now that we have,
does that mean that if we go up there, I gotta pay to own? I gotta pay to own a plot on Mars. I can't just show up on Mars and be like, "This is mine."
Yeah,
that's fine.
But that's the thing is, you can't just claim things. That's the confusing part as well.
But we've had that discussion where I don't think it should be a claim. Like, I'm willing to turn as much soil as it takes for me to get feasible food.
You're contributing to that piece of land.
I put the effort into getting my food out. That's not my land, but I've constructed this land to keep me and maybe my family alive. Like much like a bear would have its territory. It's not like the bear's like, "This is my land."
Well, that's also one thing we often forget is animals are also very territorial, right?
Yeah, it's not
natural.
And there's another thing. How unnatural is it to see anything that's just like stacked?
Yeah.
Like you see bees and shit, but they have mind. They all have one goal in mind. They're there for community.
Yeah.
Something happens, the whole hive reacts. It's not like Jeff over here is starving, we're just going to leave him to die.
Yeah.
That happens everywhere. Yeah, people will die in the apartment above you. You only know the next day because it's fucking dripping through the roof.
Jesus. Hectic job, but
because you don't know. You don't know the guy. He walks past you every day on the stairs and you just don't see him for a week. Where is he?
True,
I don't know. I don't know where that guy is. I don't talk to him ever. Maybe he's on holiday. Who fucking cares? Maybe he was evicted. Fuck. I got my own shit to worry about.
Yeah.
Until that guy becomes liquid deep, dude, and just starts coming through the ground. Then it's your problem as well. But all you had to do was know the guy to be like, hey man, what's up?
But that's the thing is, how hard is it to keep tabs on everyone?
No
one can do that.
No one said you had to keep
tabs.
tabs.
That's the thing is, it's not really keeping tabs. It's just to know, okay, that guy's out there.
I think it's only so hard
because he could disappear for a week and you wouldn't know. He could go on
territory.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not talking skyscrapers anymore. If you're talking about I know that on that farm there's like 5 guys, like, if they need help, I'm like, right over here on my farm. It shouldn't have been a case of vertical where there's like the complex we went to in Pretoria. There was like over 300 something units, man.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. How you go in there in a drunken haze? How do you ever find your house? Every floor looks the same. Every building looks the same, and there's 3 of them with like 6 rows of units.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But I know that here on my farm, like this is me. Here's my 5 family members. I know over there's 10 people. I know on that farm back there's like an old couple. You know who's
you just
around.
Have to know a basis of what's
you
going
hear
on.
a gunshot from there, you're already panicking because it's 2 old people, and that's just like a casual, like a gunshot scenario. We're talking about a society where maybe that's not even a thing that happens. Everyone's got chow, everyone's got a place to stay. There's no need for crime and guns. That gun might be for a bear. So it's not a crime. Gunshot. Shit, maybe there's a bear over there. You and your family, you got to go make sure like that bear is a threat to you. It's a threat to that family. It's a threat to those old people if someone doesn't get there.
But also, you're somewhat a threat to the bear's food source.
The human's not the food source.
Well, it could be. The bear could be hungry, dog.
The bear's got bear territory, man. There's also people territory.
Yeah.
Like that running wild in Alaska and the brown town.
Yeah.
Those guys do, that's their territory. And bears come and go through there. Bears take livestock. But that's why you gotta, like the bear has its territory, this is my homestead. This is where my family stays. You gotta look after that little thing to nourish you. That's your homestead. That's what keeps you and your family alive.
Yeah.
And it's not like selfish to need that much to survive. If you think about it, like we buy chow, how much land is needed to grow that chow, to get that chow on our plates?
Uncomprehendable.
How much land is actually needed for one human to have chow for a year?
Uncomprehendable.
Not really.
There's probably ways you can work it out.
You could do
but to actually work that out will fuck your brain.
No, dude, not at all. And I'll go do the maths for you. I'll work it out. But I'm telling you, it's not that much. To support a small family, you really don't need that much land if you use it constructively. And I think that's what we lack. We've given up the opportunity to teach people these valuable skills that should you fall short of a modern technological society, you're doomed to the streets to starve. Yeah. It's messed up, man.
It is very fucked up.
There should be a plan B.
When the thing is like, 500 years ago, oaks out in the fucking bushes.
Doing their things. Shooting. Yeah. You had to know
like
these
that was
things.
long before civilization got close to each other. Like there was cities and things come together, but there was some oaks so isolated they have no idea what's going on.
It was you and whoever you were with, man, or you were on your ace.
But that's also like humans trying to deal with a lot of pressure of being together. Because we are in a very strong population now, and it's not something we're used to, all being so even connected to each other with a cell phone, or knowing that everyone's there. Because of something like so many years ago.
I still think population is mostly a problem because we're pushing vertical. We're concentrating people where there's viable money sources, not where there's viable land sources.
Yeah.
There's land everywhere where we can be housing and feeding people at really low cost. The problem is those people want to earn money.
Yeah.
Those people want to drive fancy cars, live in a nice house. Not many people are okay with just having a roof over your head that you don't have to pay for, worry about paying for. Maybe it's yours to maintain, that you might have to, go get lumber to fix a roof or do some odd jobs to patch walls. Man, like
you watched that one thing of that oak that lived in that other forest for like 60 years or whatever, and he built his own house.
Oh, you told me about that. The guy that builds like all sorts of irregular stuff.
Yeah, like it's very weird and shaky. Also, like it was also just him, his kids. Like I think he had like a crane or something like that was useful, but like they can still
machinery.
Like that's the thing is there is still things with uses. It's not like you have to go fucking play with a stick in the bush. Like there is still some things that are useful. But then you can argue like Rick and Morty, where the first problem is where the oak started playing with tools.
Not really, because you could argue again the communal sense. Like that's arguing that guy needed that tool for himself.
Mm.
The right tool in the right hand can build a house for everyone.
Yeah.
There you go, dude. Not everyone needed the same tool.
So it's just teaching people how to use the tools instead of just...
They can be communal tools. What if the government just paid for the tools and the people used them? Isn't that better? Knowing that your tax money was paying for feasible things, knowing that there wasn't ever going to be power cuts, water shortages, because there was the free.
But that's also like a promise that somewhat we can't make to each other. There's not a promised water source. No, but in general, there's not a promised water source.
There's not a promised water source, but there's a problem with how we currently use water.
Yeah.
We've got
we're very
tons of people living in vertical towers that just shit and bath and shower, and dude, do you know how much water gets used every single day? By times. You told people, oh, the bowl's full again. No one is taking 5-minute showers. My man, people are going ham. I'm telling you. The bar is the highest it's been in 10 years. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Definitely, yeah. But also, like, how long is that going to last?
But we used to hinge on water crisis. It's not a case of how long is it going to last. It's that the mentality currently is it's full. So it's full until it isn't.
That's the thing is, I haven't brought that up with you, and then you explained this to me, and I was like, fuck, actually.
It's full until it isn't. Like, only when it's not full, you're like, oh, okay, shit.
That's the thing is, I was amped that it was full, but when you explained it like that, I was like, oh, fuck. We're fucking around now.
It's only for as long as those people are taking those long showers. Dude. Yeah. And you'll see, here comes winter, so now it's not supposed to rain.
Yo, winter, I'm already fucking chilly, dude. I'm shaking.
Yeah, but now because we're still going to be using water, but none's going to be falling. It's not supposed to. So we'll see by next spring whether or not we have or haven't taken a cut into this reserve, or how much of a cut we've taken, that if it doesn't rain for the next 6 months, are we going to have water?
But that's the thing is also with, I don't know if it's specifically global warming or what, but in general, I've seen throughout the last couple of years, the weather patterns change a lot. Like very regular. Like it never used to rain in winter.
We had rain last week and now it's mad cold.
Yeah.
That's not winter.
It's not normal. Also, it's like what, it snowed twice when our parents were kids. It's already snowed 3 times in our lifetime. Like all just, like, so the weather is definitely changing. Yeah.
That's all there.
So if we don't try to sort something out, it's gonna carry on fucking around. You always just be like Bill Gates and say, we'll try to what them the sun. Legitimately. That guy.
Imagine growing up in a world that's exactly like you know it, but slightly dimmer.